The wind howled outside, a relentless, chilling moan that rattled the windows. Rain lashed against the glass, a furious drumbeat against the stillness of the night. It wasn't just a storm brewing outside. For me, at that moment, it felt like a storm was raging within. A phone call earlier had delivered news that shook my world, leaving me feeling unmoored, adrift. Have you ever felt that way? When life, seemingly out of nowhere, throws a tempest your way, threatening to capsize everything you thought was stable? In moments like these, we often search for an anchor, something solid to hold on to. And it brings to mind a powerful image, a timeless teaching from Jesus himself, found in the Gospel of Matthew. He spoke of builders, of houses, and of storms, not just the kind with wind and rain, but the very storms of life that test the foundations of our existence. Picture two builders. The first, a wise man. He wanted his house to stand, to endure. So he dug down deep, through the topsoil, through the loose earth, until he reached solid rock. On that bedrock, he laid his foundation, meticulously, patiently. Then he built his house. The second builder, perhaps in a hurry, perhaps seeking an easier path, chose a different approach. He built his house directly on the sand, on the loose, shifting ground. It looked fine for a while, perhaps even quicker to construct. Then came the storms. The rain descended, the floods rose, the winds blew fiercely, battering both houses. The house built on sand, lacking a true foundation, collapsed. Its ruin was complete. But the house built on the rock? It stood firm. It withstood the onslaught. Why? Because its foundation was strong, unyielding. Jesus wasn't just giving a lesson in civil engineering. He was speaking profound truth about how we build our lives, our character, our decisions, our very understanding of the world. He said, "Everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like the wise man who built his house on the rock. And conversely, everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like the foolish man who built his house on sand." So, what does it mean for us in the 21st century to build our lives on God's truth, on the rock of His words? It means that our values aren't shifting sands based on popular opinion or fleeting trends. They are rooted in eternal principles of love, compassion, justice, and forgiveness as taught by Christ. When faced with a moral dilemma, a difficult choice at work, or a challenging relationship, our default isn't to react impulsively or follow the path of least resistance. Instead, it's to pause, to recall God's truth, to ask ourselves, what do His words say about this? How can I respond in a way that reflects His heart, His wisdom? It means our sense of self-worth isn't dependent on external validation, the likes on social media, the promotion at work, the approval of others. Instead, it's grounded in the unchanging truth that we are deeply loved, uniquely crafted, and infinitely valued by our Creator. When the winds of criticism blow, or the floods of self-doubt rise, this foundational truth helps us stand firm. But Jesus emphasized not just hearing His words, but putting them into practice. This is the critical distinction between the wise and foolish builders. Both heard, only one acted. It's the difference between knowing about God's truth and living it. It's the quiet, often unseen, discipline of consistent obedience. It's choosing forgiveness when anger would be easier. It's choosing generosity when scarcity feels real. It's choosing humility when pride calls out. Consider the times when life feels overwhelming, when a financial crisis hits, or a health diagnosis arrives, or a relationship crumbles. These are the storms. If our foundation is built on fleeting pleasures, on material possessions, on human approval, then when these things are shaken, our whole world can feel like it's collapsing. But if our foundation is trust in God's sovereignty, His goodness, His provision, then even in the eye of the storm, there can be an inexplicable peace, a deep knowing that we are held, that this too shall pass, and that God is working all things for our good. This isn't about perfection, it's about direction. It's about consistently orienting our lives, our choices, our very hearts towards the unchanging truth of God. It's a continuous process of excavation, digging deeper, identifying areas where we might be building on sand, and consciously choosing to rebuild on rock. Think for a moment, what areas of your life feel most susceptible to the storms? Is it your sense of security, your relationships, your purpose? And what truth from God's Word can you intentionally apply to shore up that foundation? The promise isn't that storms won't come. Jesus never said that. In fact, He assured us they would. The promise is that when they do, if our lives are built on the enduring rock of His truth and our obedience to it, we will stand strong. We will not be swept away. Our house will not collapse. So, as we navigate the unpredictable currents of life, let us be the wise builders. Let us listen deeply to the words of Jesus and, with intention and diligence, put them into practice. For it is in this daily, faithful building that we construct a life that not only withstands the storms, but flourishes beyond them, rooted deeply in the unwavering love and truth of God. What does building on the rock mean to you? How have you experienced the strength of a life built on God's truth during a personal storm? Share your reflections in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. And if this message resonated with you, consider subscribing or sharing it with someone who might need it today. Until next time, may you continue to build strong, stand tall, and know the enduring peace that comes from a life founded on the rock.